Hey guys, it's me, Mr. Calypso. I know it's been like a long time, but that's besides the point. Today I'm actually here to show you guys my Minecraft mod. It is called Rusted Rebirth, and I'm just going to go through a little showcase of a few things. Now, my mod is a bit of a tech mod and some other things. It has a bunch of aspects to it, but yeah, I'll just go through. So, one of the things that my mod adds is these blocks here. These are power generation blocks. This is a solar panel, this is a battery bank, it stores power, this is a tool charger, it charges tools, and this is a fuel generator. It generates power with fuel tanks. Over here are the technical blocks. This is the cooking station, and you can use it to do a number of things, but one of the main things you can use it for is to preserve food. It uses both water and FE to cook stuff. See, it's a little smoke. This right here is the scrap grinder, which is a very important block in the mod. It is used to basically refine scrap metal into reclaimed metal dust. As you can see, this made the canned food. This is an electric version of that, or a powered version of that, of the scrap grinder. This is the auto sifter, which is a block that is used to sift sand and scrap sand and stuff like that for resources. So you can put the sand in here, and it'll put these little numbers here. These actually mean something. I should probably remove these, I suppose. And as you can see, you get out of the sand, you get a bunch of nuggets and stuff, and some parts from the mod as well. This is the fabrication bench, which is a block which is used to make a great many things, like plates and rods and wire and ball bearings and nuts and bolts and stuff. And this is an electric furnace, which is relatively self-explanatory, I feel like. You put stuff in it, and it smelts. This is the bullet press, because we'll get into it later. There are firearms in this mod. You load it full of gunpowder, and the gunpowder goes higher. It actually counts 1 is equal to 4, and then you get bullets out of it or whatever. And this is the weapons workbench, or the firearms workbench, I believe. And we'll get more into that in a little bit. Let me put this bucket away. Alright. Next over here, we have the naturally spawning blocks, or at least some of them. We have tin ore, we have lead ore, we have scrap sand, scrap dirt, and scrap grass, rebar. We have radioactive waste, we have radioactive rubble. This is the scrap metal that drops from the scrap blocks, and these are radioactive shards. And this is a junk block, or a junk pile. Next over here we have the regular junk blocks, which is like the junk pile, but they drop different things. Whenever you break these, they drop certain things, like this pile of canned food drops canned food. This stove drops metal sheets, as well as pipes and electrical wire and stuff like that. We also have these bits and bobs here, which are dropped. This is a old power tool, an old toy, watch, an old book, stuff like that. Old refrigerator, old computer, server, all that jazz. Move on to the next thing. Now, this is where it kind of gets a little bit more involved. I'm going to switch into survival mode here. Each one of these, as you can see, these are the junk blocks that we saw earlier. Each one of these can be disassembled with a screwdriver. For example, the power drill here, this old power tool. You put it in your offhand, and you right-click with a screwdriver, and you disassemble it. You can also smash it with a hammer, but you get less resources or whatever out of it. Each one of these disassembles into these components, as you can see here. The only one that's really kind of different is this old book right here. You see, whenever you take the book, or whatever, the ruined book, basically what you do is eat it, and it gives you something, usually just paper, but you also have a chance of getting a firearm schematic, as you can see up there. Over here, we actually have the radioactive blocks that I have in my mod. Now, we're currently in a place called the Wasteland biome, and I'll explain how to get there later. And just from being here, we are irradiated, basically. As you can see in the lower left-hand corner, we currently have 1,521 rads. If you stand in water while you're in the wasteland, you'll be irradiated. You get low radiation. If you stand near radioactive waste or radioactive rubble, you'll get high radiation. And if you're in radioactive sludge or toxic sludge, you gain deadly radiation. And as you can see just there, whenever I gain 6,000 rads, I gain the irradiated debuff, which means that my maximum health is decreased by 2 hearts. I am slowed slightly, and I believe there's some other effects. Now, I'm going to stand in here for a little while just to show you guys what happens when you get worse radiation poisoning. Alright, there's tier 2, and as you can see, our maximum hearts have been decreased again. There's tier 3, and I'm going to get out of this, because it doesn't really go down much lower than that. Eventually, you'll hit, I believe it's irradiated. I believe irradiated 3 might actually be the lowest tier, and it'll kill you. So we're going to avoid that by taking some iodide tablets, which will restore basically all of our hearts, except for, like, we still actually have tier 1 radiation poisoning, so what we'll do here is we'll take some anti-rad paste, throw that bowl away, and as you can see, our radiation is going down slower. The iodide tablets actually remove the rads instantly, and the anti-rad paste actually removes it slowly. Each one removes a specific amount or what have you. Let's see here. We'll take this anti-rad cleanser also. And this one here removes 5,000 rads, so we should be down quite a bit after that. Yeah. It removes 2,000, I believe, immediately, and then a further amount after that. The rest of it, basically. Now, there's other things here that do remove radiation, like this rad flesh we'll get into later. It removes 600. And there's other things that actually cause radiation poisoning, just from like being around them or having them in your inventory, like the radioactive shards. They will cause radiation poisoning. And you can actually decrease the amount of radiation that you are affected by wearing a radiation suit. Next we have the medical stuff here. As you can see, there is a triage kit, which basically all this does is whenever you eat it or you open it, it gives you a bunch of random medical supplies. Sorry if you hear all the husks, they're for another part of the thing that's coming up. So the bandages here, they heal you for a little bit. The healing inhaler does the same thing. It's a hemostat thing, I thought. Then there's the adrenaline tablets, which give you absorption and strength. Now, these are rare. Don't get it twisted here. They are not common items. You actually have to go to the wasteland to get them, and you actually have to go to a really dangerous place in the wasteland to get them as well. All right, hang on. Let me clear the effects from myself, please. Effect clear. All right. Next up, we'll have the we have the canning bench with all of the preserved food and stuff that the canning bench can make, as well as some of the food that it can't. Right here is canned spaghetti and meatballs, which is a very important thing in the mod, actually. It's really funny. You can actually only find this. You can't craft it, and it is a currency that you trade with villagers and the like to gain special things. Pretty much every vanilla food has a canned variant. And some don't as well. There's also some new ones, and there's also the dehydrated versions of the foods. There's also MREs and these civilian rations that you can find out in the wasteland. When you open an MRE, you get a selection of items. You always get an iodide tablet with the MREs, which is actually really useful if you're irradiated, obviously. And with the civilian rations, you usually get a number of things as well. As you can see, it probably combined with the others. You can also find booze in the wasteland, which you can make by brewing swill, which you make swill out of potato mush, sugar, and mushrooms. Then you brew that swill into mundane potions, and it creates 3 booze, which will reduce rads by 600. It also has some other effects, as you saw earlier. With a scrap grinder, you can actually grind seeds into flour, and you can actually turn that flour into dough, either by putting it in your crafting grid or by looking at water and just right-clicking on it. The cooking table has the canning station, rather, has other modes, as you can see here by this button. It has a cook mode, a dehydrate mode, and a can mode. So we're going to go with the cook mode here, and put it right there. And it'll cook. As you can see, the fuel generator's working, and we got ourselves a bread. If you put raw meat into a scrap grinder, it will turn into ground meat, and you use this ground meat to make sausages, and you can then cook the sausages, and they're really good food, but they have another purpose, actually. We'll get into that in a minute. If you put potatoes into a scrap grinder, they will be ground into potato mush. I need to fix that. That's supposed to be a potato. Either way. You then can use that potato mush to make swill or anti-radiation paste, which are both pretty important, all things considered. I'm going to put these back. Now, you can probably hear them over there. They won't shut up. There's actually 2 villagers in the mod. There is the gunsmith villager, and there is the wastelander. The wastelander trades a bunch of random stuff that you can find in the wasteland, but most importantly, he also trades some other things, like this Dune Rider plow, which we'll get into later. And as you can see, he wants canned and spaghetti meatballs for rad cleansers, which is actually a pretty good deal, because rad cleansers are really useful if you have high radiation. And then there's the gunsmith, which is useful because he's one of the only actual sources of schematics for firearms, which we'll get into in a bit. And this placeholder text thingy here is something else, but we'll get into that in a minute too. And this right here is actually the portal to the wasteland. Now it's decorated. It's not actually... The scrap metal blocks here are actually just decoration. What really is the portal is this concrete, basically, here. And you ignite it with a screwdriver, which is funny. I should probably change that, but for now, I think it's good. And that's what the portal looks like. I'm not going to go through it right now because I'm actually in the wasteland and I don't need to go through the portal. Alright, so next we're going to go over to where the weapons are. I'm just going to ignore everything on the right-hand side, or the items, rather. As you can see here, I have a bunch of targets. And here are all of the items added by the mod, or at least all of the tools, rather. First off, whenever you're in the wasteland, the first thing you're probably going to want to make is one of these scrap toolkits, which you can make with 2 scrap metal, nuts and bolts, and a pipe. And then you can right-click on it, and then you select the tool that you want to make. We'll say an axe. And then you get the scrap axe kit, and then you just right-click to assemble it. And then you get yourself a scrap axe, and then you just beat some zombies with it or whatever. I'm just going to get rid of that. Here we can see the armors added by the mod. There is the scrap metal armor, which is relatively easy to make. It's literally just scrap metal with nuts and bolts. I'm going to put it back on the thingy. It's a little worse than iron. I would say it's probably equivalent to like copper in the newer versions of Minecraft, but still. Then we have the reclaimed metal armor, which I'm actually going to put on because it's useful and quite protective. Now this armor here, where did the pants go? Oh, there. This armor here offers a pretty much the same protection as like diamond, but the main difference is it has less toughness. As well, it protects you from radiation poisoning. And in order to make it, you actually need reclaimed metal plates, which is what you get from grinding the scrap metal into reclaimed metal dust and then smelting it into ingots and then pounding those ingots into plates. And then you have to hunt a creature called a rad beast, which we'll get to in a bit, in order for you to get its hide, and then you make the armor, basically. Can you tell I've not really done a lot of these showcases? This is literally the first one I've ever done. Anyway, one of the things that you're going to need to do whenever you first get into the mod is you're going to need to make one of these rod dies, right? This is a metal rod die. It's made by taking a bunch of reclaimed metal ingots and then bashing them into plates. I'll show you that right now. This is what I meant by that. You take a plate and you hold it in your offhand, or an ingot rather, and then you just sort of right-click with a hammer, and then it turns into a plate, right? Well, you take one of these ingots, you take the rod die in your offhand, you right-click with it. Well, that would happen, wouldn't it? So, yeah, as I was saying, you take one of these ingots, and you take the rod die in your offhand, and you right-click with it. And as you can see, it fills the rod die with the reclaimed metal ingot there. And then you right-click on it with a hammer, and then you get a metal rod, which you will need for various things in the mod. Like, for example, the reclaimed metal rod is used to make a bayonet attachment. The screwdriver is made out of reclaimed metal rods and gun barrels, stuff like that. Next, we have all of these random tools. We have the scrap tools, which I showed you a second ago. We have the reclaimed metal tools, except for one. We have the scrap metal shield, which is just a stop sign. There's no reclaimed metal shield yet, but there will be. There is the air pump, which I'm going to hang on to. There is the wire cutters, which is used to cut plates into wires. You can also use it to do some other things, and it's also used as an ingredient for the fabrication bench. We have the reclaimed metal tools, which each have different things. For example, the This is the Reclaimed Metal Cestus. It is the pickaxe of the mod. It is used as both a weapon and a tool. It has the same mining ability as diamond. These reinforced concrete, by the way, is basically the same thing as obsidian. It's just made easier. There is the Reclaimed Metal Spade, which actually has 3 different modes. It is a shovel, primarily. However, it can also be used to make tilled soil. There's no dirt around here. I would till it. And path blocks. So that's how the Reclaimed Metal Spade works. Next is the Reclaimed Metal Axe, which is one of my favorite things. Now, it doesn't really do a whole lot of damage like this normally. But the thing about the Reclaimed Metal Axe is it has a combat mode, in which case it does more damage. And it also has a special ability where you hold right-click, and then when you release, you slash, and you hit a bunch of enemies in front of you, dealing a lot of damage, actually. Now, I'm not going to murder the rest of them with it, even though I like to, because I need to show you the other things. There is this, which is the mining drill. I'm going to charge it real quick. That's enough. This thing here has multiple modes. It has slow mode, medium mode, and fast mode, and the slow mode mines relatively slowly. The medium mode mines pretty quickly, and the fast mode mines really quickly, so fast that I couldn't stop myself. So yeah, we're just gonna patch that hole up real quick. Next we have the batteries, which are used to craft certain things like the detonator, portable air compressor, power drill, saw, drill, etc., etc. A lot of the crafting blocks also require batteries, and you can charge the batteries inside of the charger block here, or you can get a kinetic charger, which I don't seem to have on this wall here, which is a big goof on my part. You take the kinetic charger, and as with a lot of things in my mod, you hold the object that you want to interact with in your offhand, and you right-click. And it makes that horrible noise, but it does charge the battery. As you can see, the durability is going up, which is representative of its power that is currently stored within it. Then next we have the sand sieve. This is what you would use before you got the auto sifter. It can be used to sift things, mostly sand and the like. You hold the sand in your offhand, you just right-click. There you go. And then finally we have the power saw, which needs electricity. And this can be used to cut down trees. That's its main purpose. As you can see in the center of the screen there, there's chop and fell mode. Chop mode basically just cuts singular blocks of wood, and fell cuts down entire trees. But also, it can be used as a weapon. And it's pretty effective, albeit you have to be basically right in front of something to actually hit it with it. But I really like using it. It's one of my favorite things in the mod, and I really like killing Endermen with it. It's really fun to attack Endermen with. Anyway, that's most of the tools, pretty much all the tools anyway. Finally, now we get on to the weapons. Now, there's a lot of weapons in the mod. Mostly a lot of baseline weapons, but they also have modifications, as you can see. Typically, whenever you're first starting out in the mod, you're going to end up with one of these, which is an air rifle. Basically, what you do with it is you craft it, and you kill things with it, obviously. But the air rifle uses compressed air, and you pump it up with the hand pump that's on it. And I forgot to give myself ball bearings. Jeez. It shoots ball bearings. If you hadn't figured that out from my exclamation just then. But it shoots ball bearings, and it deals a relatively high amount of damage. It actually deals more damage whenever it's fully pumped up, whenever you can see it's in the red there. Sorry, I keep switching hands. I'm used to F being my pump button. You can zoom in a little bit whenever you hold right-click. That's just how it is with all weapons, though. In creative mode. Here you guys can have that. And there's a bunch more weapons as well. There's this thing here, which is the Helsing. It shoots arrows, and it actually has the potentiality. You can actually, whenever it's loaded, you can actually load things in here, like booze and potions and stuff, and it'll douse your arrows with it. And it'll apply the effect to the creature that you strike it with. This is the extended magazine version of that. It has 8 bolts in it instead. Now, each one of these weapons, basically, I'll show you for a good example here with the air rifle. You put it in here, and it doesn't have anything in here right now because obviously there's no modifications in here, but if I wanted to, let's see, Certain weapons only have certain modifications, obviously, but for the air rifle specifically, there are 4 variations of it. There's the stock, extended tank, the automatic one, and the automatic with an extended magazine. So it's in here, and we just put these in here, and as you can see, now we have the air rifle with an extended magazine, extended air tank, so it now goes above 20 psi, and now it holds 32 ball bearings instead of just, 20, or however many it is. It also is fully automatic. It doesn't fire very quickly, obviously, because it's just a little air rifle. It's literally the first weapon that you would probably make if you, had the potentiality of doing so. Next, we have the sand gun. This thing shoots sand. It's mostly a tool. We may go more into depth in that in a little bit, but it's mostly just a tool. The flamethrower, which is one of my favorite weapons. The can launcher, which is another one of my favorite weapons. Those are pretty much all of the pneumatic weapons, the weapons that use compressed air to fire. The launcher has a number of different shells it can fire, including a nuclear one, which is really fun. We may show that off in a little bit. Next, we're going to move on to the makeshift weapons. These are scrap weapons, which are 1 tier above the pneumatic weapons. First and foremost, we have the scrap revolver. We have the pipe submachine gun. I really wish I need to do something about that zooming. Anyway, we have the pipe submachine gun, which is one of my favorites as well. We have the pipe rifle, which is really strong, actually, and has a really cool action. I'll show them off in a minute, shoot them. We have the pipe shotgun, and last but not least, we have the pipe shambler, which is basically a pipe shotgun, but it's semi-automatic. Then we have the fabricated weapons tier, which is the second highest tier in the mod, basically. We have the pistol. We have the revolver. Not sure what that's talking about. We have the submachine gun. We have the bolt-action rifle. We have the pump-action shotgun. Sorry about the zooming in. I really apologize for that. And last but not least, we have the fabricated assault rifle. And each one of these weapons have different levels of modification that they can go through. Like, there's the regular pistol, then there's the extended mag, and then there's the auto pistol. There's the submachine gun, there's the submachine gun with an extended mag, and then the submachine gun with a bayonet. Rifles have the most. They have all of the attachments, basically, except for, obviously, they don't have air tanks, because they don't use oxygen to fire. The shotgun only has a bayonet, and the assault rifle has the same as the SMG. The pipe shotgun turns into a double barrel whenever you add an extended mag to it, as you can see. We'll actually shoot that if we can here. Let me see. Did I get any, I don't think I put any bullets in here, did I? Man, I am not doing a good job at this showcase, am I? Jeez. Let me go back into creative mode here. My apologies. Get some shotgun shells. Each weapon has a reload animation, by the way. And, bam. Yeah. That did relatively a lot of damage, but that's because the pipe shotgun actually has an AoE effect in front of it also. I think that's pretty neat. But there is another tier of weapons, actually, which is above the fabricated weapons, and these are the elite weapons. There is the elite pistol. Let's just get a few bullets, shall we? Now these weapons here, they can't be modified, but they do have, basically they come with the modifications just base, right? That's the idea. So there's the pistol, which is pretty good. It does automatic fire and single fire. There is the assault rifle, which I like a lot. It's probably my favorite. It has automatic fire and single fire also, but it also has a blooming grenade launcher, which I'm not going to shoot in here, but as you can see, it does work. And then last is the bullpup shotgun, which, like the other shotgun, actually has an AoE effect in front of it, but that guy was too far away to actually showcase, obviously. Next, we're going to move over. First, actually, I'll show you how you actually make guns, because it's actually rather complicated in the mod, to some extent, anyway. I can clear my inventory here. Oh, no. Why did I do that? Alright, fine. We'll go to the next one. We'll go to fabricated. Yeah, we'll go to fabricated weapon kits. Okay, so to make a weapon, and this goes for every weapon in the mod, obviously, you need a weapon kit. Now you can't make fabricated weapon kits. You actually have to buy them from wasteland traders and stuff like that. But you can make these salvaged weapon kits. As you can see, they're not that complicated. I need to make a texture for them, but I haven't done so yet. I apologize. Regardless, there is the salvaged weapon kit and the fabricated weapon kit. We'll do the salvaged one first because it's easier and simpler. When you right-click on it, you get this here selection menu, and allows you to basically craft whichever weapon you want. Think we'll go with the air rifle because it's the first one you will probably make, and you get this assembly here. And then you'll get that UI on the upper left-hand corner, as you can see. What you need to do is you need to get the tool, or you need to get the part that it's asking for, and then you right-click with it. And then it's going to yell at you and tell you that you need a screwdriver. So then you panic, and you have to go get a screwdriver really quick. And then go back to the weapons bench. You don't actually have to look at the weapons bench, but you can right-click with the screwdriver, and it will attach the part, as you can see. Then you need to get the rest of the parts, basically in order. So, as with a lot of things in my mod, as previously stated, you basically just have to do things manually, pretty much. There's no automated way of doing this. There's no crafting grid or anything for these. I feel like it's just more intuitive or more interesting like this, in my opinion. Hopefully you guys like it. I mean, I like it. I think it's neat. And then, let's see, metal pipe. Should probably stop yammering and just show it. And there you go. You get yourself an air rifle. And you just hit the wrong button and you don't pump it up. And there you go. There's your air rifle. Same thing pretty much goes for the fabricated weapons. The only difference is you need the kit, which you have to buy, and you need schematics for them. Pistol uses handgun, revolver uses handgun, and the rest of them use long gun schematics. So we'll go with an assault rifle. So you need to have it in your inventory. When you click on it, it will turn into it, basically. And these weapons, along with like the actual firearms, require you to have the weapons workbench. So you have to have it in order for it to actually let you craft them. We need a reclaimed metal plate. Let's see here, reclaimed metal plate. We need a barrel. I put a barrel in here because I was not stupid that time. We need a receiver. And we need some more small parts. Okay. And there we go. We got an assault rifle. Now we'll just stick that bad boy in there. And I think grab a bayonet. And we'll grab an extended magazine and put it in there. And now we have an extended magazine assault rifle. We'll grab ourselves a box of, well, that's the wrong ones. Grab ourselves a box of rifle ammunition. And we'll reload our assault rifle. Oh no. Oh no, it didn't give me the bullets. Brother. Probably because I'm in creative mode. There we go. And, you know, you just go crazy, pretty much. But yeah, that's how you make the weapons in the mod. Now, some weapons can't be made. The air sand gun, the flamethrower, and the launcher, they have to be bought. They cannot be made. You can buy them from the Wandering Trader or the Wasteland or the not the Wasteland or the Gunsmith Villager. You can buy them from them. I also really like the pipe revolver. It's probably my favorite scrap weapon in the mod, honestly, because I really like its reload animations. I think I did a lot with the animations on the pipe revolver. It's a little overkill, but I like it a lot. Next we have the remote explosives, which I'm just gonna stick, not in there, stick them, come on, in there. And we have the detonator. Now, I'm not going to detonate this right away because it's going to ruin everything if I do, but it's ready, primed. We have our other explosives. We have a can grenade, which I'm just going to yeet over there. As you can see, it explodes and it shoots out shrapnel. Really, really happy with that. We have the Molotov cocktail, which you throw and it just creates fire in a big circle, pretty much. Next, we have our turrets, which I really, really like. These are probably one of my favorite things that I've added in the mod here. We have the scrap turret and the fabricated turret. The scrap turret here is my favorite out of the two because of the way it looks and stuff. So you get on the turret, and as you can see, I think it's empty right now. Yeah, it's empty. We can't fire, so we have to reload it with an ammo box. So it's loading. Now it's loaded, I think. Anytime now. There we go. I love it. All right. Now we'll do the same thing with the fabricated turret. So basically, you just get in it while you have the ammo box in your hand, and it'll reload. And it should be loaded. Yeah. Nuts. I really like these. They're actually not that difficult to make. They might be a little overpowered. I might have to balance them. I don't know. I guess it'll just depend on how everybody feels about them, but I really like them. Alright, now we're going to go show you the mobs that are added by the mod. First and foremost, we have the Rad Beast, which is definitely not friendly. I hope he can't get me here. As you can see, he really wants to kill me. Ow, and they do a lot of damage. But the thing about the Rad Beast is they're actually tameable. Oh my god. Oh, he's going to kill me. Oh, he's going to kill me. Oh my god. No, 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 no. Okay. Yeah, no. That was scary. Okay, so we're going to try to tame him here. There we go. We got him. Oh, he's killing the... It's... Okay. Well. Yeah, well... Yeah, okay. Well, I'll show you that in a second. Anyway, you can tame him. He's friendly now, I hope. I think he should be. Yes, he's friendly now. Okay. And you can put a saddle on him. I can't get to him now because he's in there. Didn't know that he could climb fences. Did not know that. Didn't program him to do that. But you can put a saddle and a saddlebag on him. And as you can see, it puts it on his body. It's pretty cool. By the way, he can climb. Whenever you tame him, they climb. They can climb pretty high. It's pretty scary, all things considered. Kind of inconvenient in here, actually. Oh, he's trying to kill the raiders. He's trying to kill the raiders. Okay. I'm gonna put him out here. You just go run along, buddy. You go do whatever it is that you do. But yeah, that's the Rad Beast. You tame them with sausages, by the way. Didn't really get to mention that, I don't think, much. But that's what you tame them with. You make sausages out of ground meat, rotten flesh, nitrate powder, and sugar. You gotta cook it. Make sure to cook it. They don't like raw sausages. Anyway, there's the raiders. These guys, they're not nice. We have Buddy and Guy here. Buddy is a melee raider. They always wear scrap metal armor, and they have their scrap swords and stuff like that. And then we have Guy, which is a ranged raider, and he is equipped with a Helsing. Now I'm going to go over here for a minute. I don't think I'm wearing armor anymore. No, I'm not. That's not good. That'll probably be fine, maybe. I'm going to go into survival mode. Did I throw those sausages away? I did. So I'm going to go back into creative mode. Sorry. Yeah, no, it's a bit scuffed. I apologize. Yeah. Eat us some dehydrated pork, shall we? By the way, food actually spoils in the wasteland. I didn't mention that earlier. Probably should have. It's actually popped up. Let me throw this away and actually see if it pops up. Yeah, as you can see, the radiation is spoiling your perishable food. It doesn't spoil quickly. It only spoils like 1 every 5 minutes or something like that. But it is something to take note of, and it's a reason to make the non-perishable food. In the future, dehydrated meat and stuff will not spoil. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to. I'm basically just going to remove the unpackaged version. But anyway, let's get on to Guy, shall we? He's going to shoot at me, probably. Ow! Yep, there he is. As you can see, he's reloading. He only shoots 8 shots. He's going to kill me. He only shoots 8 shots before he needs to reload. And whenever he reloads, he runs away because he's a coward. He's only really brave whenever he has bolts, okay? Get him over there. Stalking around. Oh, he hit Buddy. He hit Buddy. Buddy's out. Buddy escaped. You know what? I want to go get a gun. I don't have to take this standing down here. Eh. Eh. Give me the... There we go. Nothing. Alright, now let's see. Which one should we use? Let's use we'll use a rifle, shall we? Show you the little reload animation on that too. Alright. That takes care of that problem. Okay. Alright, so I think the last thing I want to show you guys today, at least in this little showcase, is the Dune Rider, which is probably my favorite thing that I have added to the mod in a while. And I know I've already said that like 3 times, but I mean it this time for real. The Dune Rider is actually a vehicle. And in order to use this vehicle, you actually have to assemble it out of parts that you make. Well, mostly. You start out with the frame, and then you place on the wheels and you attach them. And then the tank, you attach it. And then the motor, you attach it. And then the panels, you attach it. And then finally the seat. And then you get the Dune Rider. You fuel the Dune Rider using fuel canisters. And then you can attach a cargo thingy to it. It doesn't have a very big inventory space, but it's pretty good. And you can attach a plow to it. And it's pretty fast. I can't really show you how fast it is in here because we're inside. And also it damages entities. I should probably mention that. Let me go into creative mode here. And we'll open up a little opening for it. Now, it is actually important to use the plow if you can get one. The only way to get a plow, actually, is from trading with the villagers. You can't make it, at least not currently. I don't know if I'll actually make it to where you can create it or not. I feel like it'd probably be better if I just left it as something you buy. But at any rate, the Dune Rider is pretty much the ultimate thing for traversing the wasteland. It is really fast, and it will protect you from pretty much anything. Not to well, it won't really protect you from almost anything. You don't take any fall damage while you're riding it. The Dune Rider only takes fall damage if you fall so far. I know it looks like I'm taking fall damage, but I'm really not. At any rate, yeah, no, it's pretty fun. I really like driving it around. One of my favorite things to do with it is to just run into mobs, because when you hit them with it, they just go flying. It's so fun. But yeah, no. That's pretty much it, you guys. There is some other things like the generation and stuff like that. Like, the wasteland is full of these structures and stuff. It's mostly sand, as you can see, but there is these little small towns and stuff like that that are just sort of dotted around the wasteland. That's pretty much where you get this stuff. Now, there are some other structures and things that you can find in the wasteland. I won't, like, spoil them here. You'll just have to download the mod and see. The mod is on Modrinth, and it is also on Curseforge. I recently updated it on Curseforge. I will put a link to the mod on Modrinth into the description of this video, and you guys can go there and look at it and download it and all that. I guess I'll put one for Curseforge too, because I know people probably prefer Curseforge, considering it's the more popular option or whatever. But regardless of that, I would like to thank you all for watching. And I hope you subscribe, and I hope you stick around, and I hope you download the mod, and I hope you have fun. So yeah, have a good one, you guys. Peace.